Lady V here. And I kind of just want to talk a little bit today about ADHD, ADD. There's a lot that goes on with that, and for me currently, I'm battling with the lack of motivation. And then also, as a female, it's quite often a common experience that we kind of don't get diagnosed with the ADD, ADHD. And a lot of times it's not until adulthood that we find out. And I'm one of those people, so I didn't even know that a lot of the issues that I do face, dealing with ADHD and ADD, are in fact actual like ADD. And a lot of that time management things, I just figured I just struggled because I'm always late. And I inherited that from my dad because my dad would always be late, and I just figured it's a pattern of behavior that I picked up on from a young age. Lyric, you can come on over here and join. Lyric, my little grandbaby. So yeah, I kind of always just figured that that was just a pattern of behavior that I picked up on. And it wasn't until maybe this past couple years, kind of running into issues with the time management thing, that I figured out ways to manage more effectively, for myself, which means taking down notes constantly, writing myself little sticky notes. I had them everywhere, all over my little office to, remember different tasks, setting so many multiple alarms to help me, one, wake up in the morning. I've always been more of a night owl, and have struggled to get up in the morning. Now it's really hard. Like I have to take time just to sit up in bed, like at least 30 minutes to kind of wake up, and I can't just like rush out there. And so sometimes I come relying on caffeine to help me give me that energy boost I need in the morning because it's not there on its own. So kind of a lot of these varying aspects definitely have always been there, and the trouble sleeping is always been a thing. She's like, let me get some love. Okay, distractions. I get easily distracted. But it doesn't mean like I can't necessarily focus. It's just my focus can be a little bit all over the place. But generally something that I'm extremely interested in or passionate about, that's where I'll be like hyper focused, and really geared up and energized to get shit done kind of thing. But if I'm not interested, I am the most procrastinator. And it really helps me to actually get motivated to do something. Is right now that's where my motivation lies, on if I've procrastinated to the last minute and I really need to get it done. So that's kind of what I'm exploring in this video today, is how do I get motivated with ADHD for things that I'm not passionate about, but I need to get done. And I am tired of stressing, up until the last minute. It's in the back of my mind, like, I need to do this, I gotta get this done. And then, for some reason I just don't, and I just can't, and it just gets pushed off and pushed off. And then it's like the night before, and I'm like, I really gotta get this done. And that's when I get this like burst of energy and motivation to like, okay, I can do this. But it's kind of battling myself up until that point. So I would like to, hear from you guys if you guys have any strategies on that. I was looking into a lot of different things today. It's something about brown noise. I didn't know there was other types of ambient noises and that it follows the color spectrum. So it was very intriguing to try to learn more on that. So I'm definitely going to look further and see what else I can find out about that. But I want to try to put it into practice. I do know that music and background noise is something that I have already been utilizing to help me like in the work sphere. I used to manage, be an operations manager for my old security company before I quit my job to try to do my tattooing full time, and pursue my art and my passions, which is a scary leap. But I'm struggling because of my ADHD to really maintain that motivation to keep pushing forward in the face of doubt and limiting self-beliefs, that have to do with the anxiety aspects and things like that. But fuck, what was I saying? Oh my god. There was a rhyme and reason to where I was going with this, but don't mind all that. So motivation, how to obtain that? Yes, so the background music, right? So I would always have it playing on the computer, and people would say like my hippie music, or sometimes it's kind of ambient, soft background music. Sometimes it's really percussionist based, like I need some drumming, kind of like trance music. And just some beats, but most oftentimes I would avoid music with lyrics, and just kind of have like a beat or a rhythm playing, and that would be my way to focus into the task that I was handling. Otherwise I would get extremely distracted with all the other background noises, like from other people talking, phones ringing, whatever the case may be, people's phones going off, um, just all the different things, people walking by, you know what I mean? So that background music would help me kind of tune in and stay a little bit more focused. And then also, it's really, really bad, but it's hard for me to take breaks. So if I take a break, it just interrupts my concentration. So a lot of times I'm really unhealthy about it, and I'll just work, because the minute I take that break, it's so hard for me to get back to that focused state. So most of the time I would really only want to take my lunch. Like, let me just eat real quick and then get back to it. So yeah, I struggle trying to find a healthy balance for myself with my ADHD, ADD, whatever name you want to give it. But it's definitely something that I've been learning to work with throughout the years before I ever realized that this was something that I was actually, struggling with, because I had no idea. It was just normal to me. And now it makes sense. Looking back on it, I was like, wow, oh my gosh, like this totally describes me. And the only reason I really came to understand this aspect about myself is because a lot of the other operations managers definitely deal with the same issues. And that's how I kind of started getting more familiar with it. I was like, wait, what? You have this same issue? Like, you experience this too? Oh my god, like, you just, and then cutting people off, sometimes I accidentally will be a little bit abrasive in terms of I jump to, like, speaking. I have to calm myself down and, like, wait, give that person a chance to fully say whatever it is they're saying. And sometimes that can be difficult, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting experience to live with and manage, and get it to a point where I can be functioning, and there is ways to do it without having to go on medication. Not that I'm a doctor or anything like that. I don't have any of that knowledge, and as far as I could tell just from the research that I've done, everyone kind of presents differently. Everyone has different expressions of the cognitive disorder, you can say, and in their experience and their coping mechanisms, the way they manage it, it's all dependent upon them, their environment, genetics and things like that. But whatever you can find that can work for you, just try it. It's trial and error to kind of balance and see where you can structure yourself more fully. So one of the things that I know that does work for me, and then I was looking into it, I was like, wow, that's something I've been doing that actually helps me a lot. And I fell off of it a little bit, and I haven't been as organized, or following through on my commitments as I was when I was undergoing this practice. And so one of those things is kind of, my planner, my daily planner, calendar thing. And writing in it and breaking down the tasks I need to do and making it something that is not an overwhelming, but like step by step of, this is what has to be done, this is what I need to take care of today. And some of the items on the list are like not immediate, like I can get a little wiggle room and kind of maybe move this one over to this other day, or there's certain ones that I'm like, no, these are goals that I need to get done today, and these other ones can wait if necessary, if I don't manage my time so effectively to be able to do all of it. So it's kind of working with myself in my own ways, having learned how to work around this. And when I write the things down in there, I actually kind of get an idea for my week, some of the things I need to handle, and I get more motivated to handle them because I have it in an easy to read method, like it's like outlined. I outlined the process of what I need to get done for each day, and then in wholeness of the entire week. And I usually don't meet all my goals. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's some things that kind of just get procrastinated on and will be I'll keep writing them into the planner, you know, like the next week I'm still trying to get whichever item done. But this method helps me. It really does to start getting on track with what I need to do and what I need to handle. And so I'm glad I kind of getting back on it and getting that motivation. And also, I know that I have the neighbor I've been trying to talk to for like maybe a year or two, and I was given this cloth to make a back piece and draw it up. And I should you not, I've been, you know, trying to build this tattoo shop in my off time, you know, around the crazy work schedule. You know, I just work so many hours and being a workaholic. So he's been waiting on me for quite a significant amount of time. Mind you, this is a piece, it's obviously mirrored right now, but this is a piece that's working around pre-existing work on his back. He has, you know, a name right on the back of his neck. He has, you know, some more there, and then he has two cobras that kind of wrap around, you know, his side. And I kind of did this, you know, pattern that he gave me, and I drew it and made it flowing around his back. And it took quite a while to really make that happen. You know, especially just making this happen. This is something that it didn't happen overnight. That's the opinion I'm working on, but there's a fish tank behind there that doesn't have fish yet. So, you know, it's been step by step, and it's the little triumphs, the little wins that have gotten me to kind of this point in place where I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing this. So I kind of try to use those little successes and accomplishments and achievements to keep me, you know, pushing along, chugging along, and motivated enough to like, hey, you know, this is going somewhere and I can make this happen. So in regards to this, back to the neighbor, I've been actually, you know, there is a certain level of consciousness involved with plants. That's like a whole nother topic for another video at some other point I'm gonna have to do. But I've been feeling the plants. There's 3 plants in particular. I don't know their names, right? But when I got them, they came in these small little pots, and I had arranged them outside, and it's been quite some time that they've been in those pots. And then there's leaf blower people that will come and they knock them over sometimes. So I noticed that the middle one's not doing so very well, and I thought it was because he kept getting knocked over, and I didn't right side him up right away because, you know, I didn't see that he was knocked over until later on the day. And then maybe like a windy, stormy night, you know, the next morning, and Lyric, come here. You know, trying to right side up the pot, and he's been sitting there on the side for who knows how long during the night, and I'm like, oh no, this poor guy. So I thought it was just that, and then I wasn't sure, maybe he wasn't getting enough water, and I was like, yeah, maybe I need to give him water. But I kind of been, say hi. Her name is Lyric. She's my sweet, beautiful Lyric, little grandbaby. Her mom is Jasmine. She's outside somewhere. Oh yeah, back to the plants. So these plants, you know, I've been feeling that they've been needing my attention, you know, and I kind of just been pushing it away, you know, blocking it out. Like, I know I need to get to the plants on the front porch, you know. To me, in my head, it was just like, I need to water them. I haven't watered them in a while. I took care of the back plants. I have a peach tree. His name is Mr. Peachy Keen. So I was like, yeah, I need to focus and do this because I keep feeling this need. So I had one out there and I watered them, and it wasn't enough. Like, I was about to go inside and something kind of just stopped me. I was like, let me take a closer look at this plant that needs my help, because I'm feeling this plant like needs me, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, you poor baby, I'm so sorry I've like neglected you. You're like dying right now. So I go in full like plant mode, and I end up, you know, what is that called? You know, transferring the pot to another pot. Transplanting. And so I had 3 pots that were decent size, and I was like, okay, this will work. And I go about, you know, starting that process. I have some soil and all that stuff. I go and get my gloves from outside because I'm like, I know I don't need the dirt in my fingernails, you know, I don't want to deal with that, but I have these gloves, so it's no problem. And legitimately, when I take the plant out the pot, oh my God, the poor roots were like really soaked, and I was like, oh fuck, I hope he doesn't get root rot. Maybe that's probably why he's not doing so well. And then also like root bound, so I'm like, oh my God, I hope I can bring back these plants. They're definitely crying out for help to me. And so yeah, so I took that time, and I was in the middle of transplanting when the neighbor came out, walking out to go do his laundry. And the last time I spoke to him, I had got the design done, and I saw that he was coming in when I was like going out for something, and I helped them to bring their luggage because they just came back, I think, from their home country, and they were visiting out there for quite some time because I had tried when I first got the design done to go over there. I was knocking and nobody was answering. I was like, fuck, he's not gonna want to get it done. It's been like 2 years since I told him let's do this, and so I'm like, oh, feeling all defeated and stuff. And then that night that I had seen them, I had brought it over to them. I helped bring their stuff in, so it was like really quick. Like, hey, okay, I finished your back design. Let me know when you want to start it. Just come on over, because he's 2 apartments down. And he never came over, and I felt bad because I was like, well, he just got back and he was overwhelmed or something. And then also I'm like, I don't know how he feels. Here's this tattoo artist that's lagged on him for so long, because I was prioritizing that full-time security job. And so this was always on the back burner. This was always in my off time that I was trying to make this happen, cultivating my craft, trying my hardest not to give up and stop my passions. So this was something that I strived hard to keep going. And yeah, so here I am, like, in doubt, and thinking like, okay, I don't want to push him. I made him wait so long. I'll let him come to me, if he's ready, if he wants it. And I just happened to be outside doing the transplanting, because here I am listening to this call for this plant. It's like, oh my god, I need to focus on you right now, even though I had other things that I was planning to do. But yeah, when I got distracted with the plants, it turned out to be a great distraction. And when Uso walked out, I told him, like, oh, by the way, like, your design is, finished. Just let me know when you need to book it, like, whenever you're available. And so we actually booked for Monday to start on his back piece, and I'm so excited because I made that happen. And my ADHD kind of played a role into it, because I wouldn't have been outside at that time, had I not been so distracted with the fact that I've been procrastinating on listening to this inner voice of these plants needing my help. And because it was so prominent, like, I had been ignoring it. It was just like that moment was like, okay, I need to stop ignoring this and help these plants. I feel these plants, and then it kind of led to this other unfolding of synchronicity of making this happen and booking this appointment. And then also he wants another tattoo that's going to be going across his neck, so I have to work on that design as well. So I actually brought him in to map out that space with the tracing paper, so that way I can draw it to fit appropriately and balanced proportionally there. And then of course show him, like, look what I've built. I've made this shop, come such a long way since he first met me. And I told him, like, yeah, I'm trying to do tattoos, and this is what I want to do. This is my passion. It's a spiritual healing craft, so he's kind of getting to see it unfold, and that's really cool. But yeah, anyways, back to the topic at hand. Maintaining that motivation is something that I struggle with every day, especially when it comes to the ADHD. And even with my passions, like, there's just certain aspects of it that are not as intriguing, that make it really difficult to maintain that focus. Because I'm also, as you can tell, I'm doing this other project. It's my first commission painting that I'm working on, and it's going to be a little bit of an interactive piece. And so I need to really get to painting that bottom part. But there's research involved in figuring out the other component, because I want to, how I want to do it and make it interactive. So that research part is getting procrastinated on. And not to mind you, that same individual that's commissioning this painting is also having me as another side job to paint the trimming in their house and do like 2 feature rolls. So one wall is just going to be one plain color, and it's about capturing that light and that happy energy from the outside front door as you come in. And then there's another feature wall that's going to be in their room, that's a wood panel wall. So it's cool, it's interesting that it's paneled. And what I'm actually going to do, because I wanted, again, with that light reflectivity and that just glow and warmth, and I kind of wanted like maybe a yellow orange color, but I found some really good, kind of pale but still bright, and not too much, not too in your face, but yellow and green that looked really nice together. And I'm going to alternate it in a pattern on those boards. And then of course the trim, I had to figure out all the colors. So that's something I've been working on the side. And part of what I need to do is provide an update today, and I've been procrastinating on it. And it's because it's the research part. He wants to make sure he primed it already some time ago, and whether or not we need to prime it again. It's been maybe a year, so there's potential there, but I was looking into it before and it didn't really seem, too necessary as long as there's not damage and, we clean the walls very effectively. Then, we could probably potentially paint right over it, but because I want to be thorough and I want to make sure that he's comfortable, like say we don't really need to prime it and it's good to go, and also the colors, I have the paint and the prime together. He's kind of old school, so if that's something that will be able to work in his book, I have to be able to assuage his concerns that go along with that. So there's research that I need to do involved, and links that I could procure to be able to send to him, like, hey, this is where we're at with it, and we don't need to go ahead and buy all this extra priming paint, and then we can just go ahead and getting this specific paint. So that way I can order the actual, volumes of paint that I need and be able to have the structure to the process. But yeah, just doing that research part, oh my God, so hard to maintain that motivation. So I'm trying to put more things into practice, and I'm really trying to start my days off right. I understand that morning is not my time, and it takes me a while to wake up. And what I really need to do is start eating breakfast healthier to help, give me some more natural energy. And I try to go to sleep earlier. It doesn't always work. So I would like to know what you guys do. What is it that you might, be dealing with, whether it's ADHD, ADD, or any other kind of, cognitive or just, pattern and behavioral thing that, a habit that you have that, you're trying to manage in some way or work around, just in terms of who you are and your energies, and, what kind of challenges they pose to you, and what structures you put in place to work around that, because it's a trial and error process, and it's ever ongoing and continuous. Growth, so important, so key, to continue just adapting and learning and cultivating yourself to the higher level of your potential reality that you can create, that's within your power. You just gotta empower yourself. And a lot of that has to do with where your energy's at, and maintaining that motivation has been a key, challenge for me in being able to keep pushing forward. So yeah, I just continue to try to work on that and put one step in front of the other. And I love to just share, with you and everyone in our community of where are we at with this, people. Like, we're all humans and we're all just trying to grow, and I love just being able to be human together as a collective consciousness and just help share with each other what insights work for us, and potential perceptions and insights from others that can also contribute to an overall higher level of consciousness, and awareness of what it is that you're dealing with, and then connectedness as well, being able to have that connected feeling with other people, just knowing that, hey, we're not alone, we're all going through just random different things in our lives, and hardships and tribulations. A lot of people right now going through so much, and just being able to be there for one another is so important. So I really like this platform because it gives us the opportunity to be able to communicate and express in a way that was never possible before. So it's really intriguing to kind of see it unfold and be a part of it, and just witness my own growth as well as everyone else around me, through our media and technology, and just the level of community that's being created in the most recent times, with these social platforms. So if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment below any insights you have to offer on anything that you guys are struggling with. This is something I want to continue doing, and I'm gonna try to work hard to be more consistent on it, and follow through on the commitments I make. But again, with the ADHD, I just have to keep learning what works and what doesn't work to be able to make that happen. So I hope y'all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.